Hi guys, Dave with First Place Auto Parts. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. And today we're looking at part 2 of the series of LS engines, where we look at the different GM LS engines and which ones might be right for your project. We broke the first segment down into the GM LS car engines, and today we're going to take a look at, in this video, the GM LS truck engines. Now there's a difference, so we want to understand what they are. They made a ton of GM trucks since the LS engine's been around, so this engine is very plentiful. Let's go ahead and get started and take a look at the GM LS truck engine and see what it offers you as either a car builder or someone who wants to swap the late model engine into your classic project. Hey guys, if you liked today's video, please consider subscribing to the First Place Auto Parts YouTube channel. We're going to continually be adding new videos every week where we show you how to put new parts on. We take a look at the latest parts that are available, and we go to some pretty cool car guy stuff I'm pretty sure you're going to want to see. GM truck engines represent the most affordable option when it comes to the GM LS engine platform. And depending on what vehicle they were put in, they could either have a cast iron or an aluminum block. And the cool thing is, they were offered in a multitude of displacements. Everything from a 4.8 liter, a 5.3 liter, or even a 6 liter engine. These things can make well north of 400 horsepower, normally aspirated, and they're guaranteed to wake up any really American classic muscle car or truck that you put these things into. The first LS-based truck engine we're going to take a look at is the LQ4. And the LQ4 was made to bridge the gap between the traditional small block and big block engines that had powered the mid-sized trucks up to that point in time, your 2500 and your 3500 trucks. The LQ4 was rated between 300 and 330 horsepower, and in 1999 and 2000 it had iron cylinder heads. After 2000, it came with aluminum cylinder heads, which help improve the performance a little bit, hence the 330 horsepower power rating towards the end of its lifespan. The LQ4 and its successor, the LQ9, are some of the most common Gen 3 LS-based engines out there. GM made a ton of trucks that had these engines in them, and they're a favorite of engine builders as well due to their 4-inch bore spacing and also their cast iron block. It's not uncommon for someone to be able to make 1500 horsepower using essentially a stock bottom end, which is nothing short of amazing. So the LQ4 engine is a good engine for you guys that are looking for something that has some good size to it. It's 6 liters and also makes good power and has great potential to make even more. And time stands still for no one and no engine. The LQ4's time was up and the LQ9 became the heir apparent. The LQ9 was marketed by GM as the Vortec Max or the Vortec HO6000 and was rated at 345 horsepower from the factory. And the LQ9, it was originally designed to be between the fenders of the Cadillac Escalades. What's interesting though is this engine eventually found its way, marketed as the Vortex Max, between the front fenders of the GM trucks and SUVs beginning in 2006. The LQ9 got its performance bump through the traditional hot rodding methods, which was to raise compression ratio and make the camshaft a little healthier. The LQ9 benefits from flat top pistons where the previous LQ4 had dish pistons, and it raised compression ratio up to 10:1. These motors are found between the fenders of a lot of very fast classic muscle cars and trucks, and you cannot go wrong with either the LQ4 or the LQ9 as your motor swap option. The next engine we're going to look at is called the LY6, and it's considered a replacement for the LQ4 in that it has the same bore and stroke as the old engine, but it benefits from some new technology. And that new technology came in the form of variable cam timing, which helped bump the engine's horsepower up to 364 horsepower. Those variable timing parts and pieces add complexity to the engine, but they're credited with widening the power band of the motor, which is great for trucks when you consider they're used to pulling heavy loads like trailers. The LY6 is equipped with performance-oriented and freer-flowing L92 cylinder heads, and with increased compression, it helps make it a very efficient motor. Now, these engines are fairly new to the scene, probably going to be a little difficult to find secondhand. It's possible, but they're just that new, so some of your LQ4 and LQ9 engines might be a little more readily available, but keep your eyes peeled for the LY6. And finally, when we're talking LS engines, the final engine we're going to look at is the L76, which is unique amongst the truck block engines in that it has an aluminum block where the other ones had cast iron. It has a lot of technology which increases its fuel efficiency, which is a never-ending pursuit for auto manufacturers for trucks and SUVs as they try to meet EPA fuel economy standards. Items such as variable cam timing and also now fuel management add a lot of complexity when it comes to the engine parts, the sensors, and the computers that monitor them. But it helps keep the performance strong when you bump the compression ratio and add a healthier camshaft, which is what GM did to realize an output of 367 horsepower for this engine. In the end, you can't go wrong with any of the LS engines that we've talked about to repower, to do an engine swap for your vehicle. The reality is the car engines got all the press, especially because it powered the Corvette, right? We always heard about the new LS engine. It was the latest version of the highest performance edition for the Z06 or the ZR1. The reality was that the truck engines were pulling a heavy load every day, going to work and getting it done. They're robust and they're plentiful, which helps drive the price down, and they're a fantastic option. It doesn't matter which LS motor you choose, but the truck LS engines are a fantastic option when it comes time to swapping in a late model engine into your early American classic muscle car or truck. The GM Gen 3 and Gen 4 LS engines are really nothing short of amazing. They literally are having your cake and eating it too. Your biggest decision is, do you want a car or a truck type motor, and how much horsepower do you want? They generate miles of smiles. They'll get you to the racetrack, take you out on date night, and get you to the car show with incredible reliability, and they'll do it the same way every time. Guys, I appreciate you watching this video, and until next time, keep the hammer down and keep it between the guardrails.